spot for the camera.
Hello, welcome to the 2022 race season. Excited to put some videos out again this year. I rode the Cobb Lake Road race the day before this, Criterium, and had a DNF after like 5 laps due to really bad leg cramps. So, hoping today goes better, and spoiler alert, it does. I was riding solo today, but was planning to work with my friend Jeremy if the opportunity arose. And I always loved coming back to Fort Collins, where I went to CSU many years ago. So this is the Oval Criterium, not on the Oval. There was about 30 riders today. Only one team had significant numbers of about 5. That was the Team Colorado. A couple other teams had 2 or 3 people. Lots of solo riders. And yeah, this is the course. There's the backside. This is into a headwind. It's nice to be protected here. The course itself is really short. It felt like minute 20 laps or so. This corner is 2 to go. The finish, you could pedal through that one. And then a sharp left onto the final section that had this little squiggle in it. Not much move to go around in a final sprint. So there you go, that's a lap. Pretty short, but fun. Couple laps in here, and not super excited about my position. Wanted to move up if I could in an easy way. It's kind of tough as these corners were pretty close together. Lots of surging out of the corners, and then coasting, braking into the corners. Tried to pass a couple guys here, jumped on the inside, get squeezed a little bit. Yeah. Almost 900 watts. Yeah, it sucks. Same kind of thing here though too. Decided to keep my speed up, go around these guys, grab a couple spots into this left-hander just to get some better lines at the front. Here it slowed down again, and I was just kind of annoyed at having to brake into every corner, so I decided it would be easier just to go to the front and pick every line I want. And there was a rider a little bit off the front here, so I wanted to keep the pace up a little bit, and this was nice because I got to pick my lines, didn't have to brake, and just kind of rolled through here. Didn't want to pull super hard, so kind of eased up here into the headwind. Was waiting to see if someone else was going to come around, but I wanted to keep the pace reasonable. A couple laps later, just didn't want to coast and brake into this corner, so I decided to put in a little dig here just to see what would happen, and just kind of kept my speed up. Was going to see how the field reacted to me opening a small gap. Wasn't really trying to commit anything big here. So about a lap later, I kind of ease up, let some folks come by. Just trying to see how the pace is going. Just kind of cruising.
I just don't like riding behind all the juniors. Yeah, it's insane.
Alright, a few minutes further into the race, and starts getting going here. I think this is when Ethan attacked and was really stringing out the field. I was just trying to kind of ease back into the group. And you can see small gaps kind of already opening up. I was not great at holding the wheel here. But you can see big surges out of the corners here, and I was doing 500 watts and not closing this down. So someone is going really hard at the front. You can see there, Ethan with a small gap off the front. We're going really hard here. I finally closed this, and I'm looking up. There's a gap up to the next group. I'm thinking this is a little dangerous because we are going really hard here. 30 miles an hour into the headwind. This guy, past him, he had a couple guys peeling off here saying, nope, they're not going to stay in the wind. You look ahead, someone's running the corner, still got a small gap. Best time to really attack and hold it is when everyone else is hurting. And this was tough. Finally catch back on, kind of easing into this, looking ahead. Still gaps open. So I'm monitoring this, making sure that I can get to the front if I need to. This was like a pivotal part in the race. So you can see this, there's 6 riders up in front of this gap. I'm just going to monitor, make sure it doesn't get too dangerous. But again here, this has been like 2 laps now, pretty fast. You can see in each corner, in that case, Ethan was even, now has 8 bike lengths or something, or 10 bike lengths. A little bit slower in this time up into the headwind, 25 miles an hour instead of 30. Even a bigger gap now for Ethan. Everyone's kind of slowing up. This is coming back together. And at this point I realize, okay, everyone's tired. Everyone was like frustrated having to pull through there, and I'm gonna go. Decide here, they're kind of looking who's gonna do the work. I'm not gonna let them sit on my wheel, attack here. So I put in a big effort, and I'm looking ahead, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be hard. Really, let's try to settle in here. You can see they have, they're only about a second off my wheel. This guy in the front really is trying to catch. I just have to keep it full gas here. This really was a critical part of the race. I was telling myself now, it's just like all in here. Let's see if we can get across. Obviously, the person up the field, I didn't know who it was at the time, is very strong. They've been really pushing the pace. And so I'm just digging here. This was hurting. I look back, occasionally here, and I realize, man, I do not have that much of a gap. But I gotta keep on it. This is how the gaps forms. Everyone's hurting. Here you can, it's like you can barely see in the rear cam, but the guy kind of looks to his left to see if someone else is gonna pull through, gaining maybe 2 seconds. I still gotta close this down. I got 2 seconds on the field, 2 seconds up the road. But if you look back now, they really slowed down the field chasing. Probably have 3 or 4 seconds. I'm feeling confident here. I'm just trying to get to this draft. It's gonna feel so good. And just pushing hard, almost there. Field now is like really slowed down. They just entering that last corner. Okay, here, get in the draft, take like the tiniest of little breaks. And I want to show this rider that I'm willing to work. Let's make this happen. Tell him that we'll go make it easy, make it steady, and go ahead and pull through. So this is where we started working together, and I wasn't really sure how well this was going to work, but the field gave up that initial chase really quickly. You can, in the rear cam, I don't know if you can see in this corner. Yeah, if I remember right, I was looking over my shoulder, and they were just entering corner, the second to last corner there, right when we were entering the final straight. So we built it up to about 15 seconds pretty quickly, and it was 15 seconds for a while. So. about 8 or 9 minutes later. Nothing's really changed. We're both trading solid pulls. Yeah, we keep looking back, and we had a pretty constant gap to the field for a while, and then it started getting even better. The announcers were giving us a little bit of time check sometimes, so that was nice. And the fact that the laps were like 1 minute and 20 seconds, we got lots of updates. But yeah, it was like a 30-minute over/under workout from hell. Going hard on the front, and then trying to recover once I flicked them through here. I will say it was really nice. I didn't have to touch my brakes like one time this second 2/3 of the race, whereas in the first third I was like every corner had to brake check, and people were, almost crashing into me. So while this effort was really difficult for me, my heart rate stayed at like 179 to 182, which is right around my threshold actually. So the body was doing what it was supposed to do for this kind of effort. It was fun. It was hard. It was fun. Alright, so we're 37 minutes in, about 7 minutes left, and we successfully have held off the field. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to bring us back. And so starting to think about, what does the end look like here? I'd watched a couple of the races before and noticed that, and by riding it myself, could tell that the last few corners is critical. If you have the front on this section here into this left-hander, which you can pedal through, and then there is not much space before you have to make a sharp left-hander into the finish. So I started thinking about where I wanted to be and how I was gonna try to outsprint this young kid. Alright, so we're coming in here to 1 to go. I'd done a turn at the front, and I flicked my elbow here, and he's having none of it. I kind of expected he was not going to pull through, but that was okay. One of his teammates here on the side yells, "Don't pull, don't pull." And so I'm on the front, and the last lap, I knew we had 45 seconds on the field, so I took it pretty easy. And here you can see power comes way down, no reason to push the pace. I know I'm going to have to sprint here in the next, 45 seconds. So I tell myself I'm going to take the far inside. I'm going to wait till close to the second to last corner, and I'm going to attack. That way he'd have to come around me. Even though it was a little bit more sheltered from the wind, it was a little longer line. And so it was kind of strange, honestly, like gauging exactly when I get to do my own sprint. Usually in like a big field sprint, you just have to go, you're going full gas the like entire last couple laps and just trying to survive. So here, instead of swinging to the barriers, I go full inside. So if he wants to come around, he's got to go wide. I'm pretty much looking over my right shoulder constantly here, rechecking I'm not going to run into the curb. But right about here, it's time to go. Couple of mashes, take the corner, little pedal strike, about 10 pedal strokes as hard as I can, make a little bit of a gap, and dive inside here, a couple more pedal strokes, and I know I have it because there's no room to come around. So first win of the year for the team. Really excited after having a bad day at Cobb Lake the day before. But we came away with second place with Elliott at Cobb Lake, and I took the win here. Lots in store for the future. Nice job out there, Ethan. I will see you guys at the next one.